What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're taking a look at one of the strongest and possibly the best hunter builds in Season of the Plunder. This Arc 3.0 build features the exotic helmet called Blight Ranger. The Blight Ranger saw quite a few changes with Season of the Plunder, making it one of the top tier exotics for hunters to use. And when paired up with this build, you'll quite literally become unstoppable. You'll have a near endless supply of grenades, charged melees, and health regeneration in a build that you can take into Grandmasters, Lost Sectors, or even PvP. This build is quite literally perfect. Now before we dive further into everything, if you end up enjoying the video, finding it helpful, please be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and really do help support the channel. The Blight Ranger exotic helmet comes with the intrinsic perk called Voltaic Mirror. Attacks you redirect with your arc staff deal a massive amount of increased damage, and it also generates orbs of power for your allies. When you guard with your whirlwind, it does not consume extra super energy. You're still bound to a timer, but it's not going to consume super energy when you're guarding. On its own, the Blight Ranger is a top tier exotic. It provides immense benefits to its wielder, and it's a great exotic for any Arcstrider hunter. But what makes it really stand out is how it synergizes with the Arc 3.0 build. Much of the strength of Blight Ranger right now comes from the aspects and fragments that Arc 3.0 provides. And with that being said, we're currently using aspects of Lethal Current. After dodging, your next melee attack has increased lunge range, jolts the target, and creates a damaging aftershock. Damaging any jolted target with melee attacks also blinds them. This creates a huge shockwave that will impact multiple enemies, so you're actually able to take out more than just one enemy with this. We're pairing this up with Flow State. Defeating a jolted target makes you amplified. While you are amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly. You are also more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased on all of your weapons. Both of these are great aspects. Most of their benefits are just pulled from the old Arc 2.0 subclass trees, but nevertheless, astounding aspects to have. And that brings us to fragments. We're using Spark of Magnitude. Your lingering arc grenades, such as Lightning, Pulse, and Storm, have extended duration, meaning they're going to be able to push out more damage over a longer time. We're also using Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. You receive a 10-point boost in your strength as well. Spark of Resistance is probably one of the best fragments so far for Arc 3.0. Definitely a fragment that you're going to want to use for the raid. You're going to want to use it for Grandmasters. You're going to want to use it for Lost Sectors. It's pretty much an important fragment to use for any build right now. Now we're also using Spark of Recharge. While critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerate more quickly. And we're finishing it off with Spark of Focus. After sprinting for a short time, your class ability regeneration is increased. It does come with a 10-point reduction in mobility, but having that additional regeneration is really going to come in handy. Now that we've addressed the aspects and fragments that you're going to want to pair up to the Blight Ranger, let's talk about the mods. And it starts with Heavy Handed. This is an arc mod, and it's going to cost you 7 energy, so keep that in mind when putting this build together. While charged with light, regain half of your melee energy when you use a charged melee ability, consuming 1 stack of charged with light. You also get an additional benefit while surrounded by multiple combatants. Defeating a combatant with a fusion rifle, shotgun, sidearm, or submachine gun adds ammo for that weapon to your reserves. And speaking of fusion rifles, shotguns, sidearms, or SMGs, those are actually perfect weapons to have right now. For example, the Trespasser, in my opinion, is one of the best, I almost called it a SMG, but the best sidearm in the game currently because of how it synergizes with the Arc 3.0. Other great weapons that you could utilize here would be the Wastelander. Utilizing perks like Substance or 1-2 Punch could really synergize well with this build. Additionally, there are a multitude of really solid SMGs currently in the sandbox, such as the Risk Runner, that would pair up beautifully to this. We're also using Hands On, gain bonus super energy on melee kills. This is another arc mod and only for helmets. Now to go along with those two, we're adding on Bolstering Detonation, grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. And as you can see, we're really pushing home the synergy of recharging all of our abilities. We have one funneling directly into all of the others. Now to go along with Bolstering Detonation, Focusing Strike is another great mod to have and is available on the seasonal artifact. Grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a melee attack. Since we're using heavy-handed, we're going to need to make sure that we stay charged with light. And with that being said, we're using Elemental Charge along with Melee Wellmaker. But to take it a step further, to make sure that we're always charged with light, I suggest using the solar mod called Supercharged. It does take 5 points of energy, but you gain 2 additional stacks of charged with light, up to a maximum of 5. Great mod to have. Now, if 5 points is a little too much for you, you can also just add Charged Up. Another solar mod allows for 1 additional stack of charged with light. Now additionally, Void Gloves, or actually Void Armor pieces in general, come with stacks on stacks. Gain an extra stack of charged with light for every stack you gain. You do lose 10 points of recovery though. Honestly, I prefer to go with Supercharged because you get guaranteed charged with light without any kind of penalty. I also like to use the Bountiful Wells mod here. Elemental well mods that cause you to spawn elemental wells can now stack, spawning additional wells for each additional copy of the mod you have. This is a great mod to equip because instead of creating 1 well, you're going to create 2. If you were creating 2, you're now going to create 4. It's a great mod to have. Now alternatively, if you don't want to use this one, you could also use the arc mod called Well of Ion. Since much of this build is focused around melees, Well of Ions is going to provide you a boost to your damage from your charged melee after picking up a well. So if you're not going Bountiful Wells, I would definitely suggest to go Well of Ion. And to tie this unstoppable build off with a beautifully sweet bow, the Lightning Strikes Twice class item mod. This is a new seasonal artifact mod only available during Season of the Plunder. After throwing an arc grenade, gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. Arc Final Blows extend the duration of this benefit. This includes kills with any arc weapon, your super, or charged melee. And the return in grenade energy is quite substantial. Considering a charged melee can take out a group of up to 3 to 4 enemies, you're looking at having your grenade back in just a matter of seconds, making the Lightning Strikes Twice mod one of the best mods that you can use for any Arc 3.0 build. And with that, that concludes today's video on the unstoppable Blight Ranger Arc 3.0 Hunter build. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel for more Arc 3.0 builds as we dive deeper into Season of the Plunder. Thank you again for checking out today's video. I hope you've enjoyed and found it helpful. If so, then please be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and really do help support the channel. If you find yourself in need of help throughout this season, or just looking for a new home for your Guardian, be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below, where you can join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.